Hi everyone, it's Shotzi for TheRoughCuts on Sunday. Today I'd like to talk about some of the Oscar-nominated animated shorts and features. If you get the opportunity to watch the shorts, you really should, as the nominees are great, and some of the honorable mentions are even better. I'll post links to the shorts or their trailers for you to view or download from the channels of the creators. The National Film Board of Canada produced 2 of the nominated shorts, Dimanche, or Sunday, and also Wildlife. In Dimanche, it seems somewhat cheery, but it's really quite dark. A little boy and his parents go to visit their grandparents on Sunday after church. They're all completely detached during services, and then at the house, the boy entertains himself as the men get drunk, the women gossip, and the animals die. With all of this going on, no one cares, and the boy just watches with only mild curiosity. I think it might be a social commentary about our present state as well as the future. In Wildlife, this takes place in 1909 in Alberta, Canada, when many English were buying land in the area. One young man who came from a very well-off family bought a ranch against the advice of his parents and was living a pretty wild life of drinking and playing around without thinking through the consequences of his actions, nor thinking about preparing for the coming winter. The story is narrated through his letters home, which paint a beautiful picture of things, while we are shown the harsh and lonely reality of his situation. This is a really sad story, and it shows the dangers of living without consequence nor preparation. This is also the only nominee with any actual dialogue. A Morning Stroll is a nominee from the United Kingdom, and it's the story of a young man walking along the sidewalk, and a chicken crosses his path and goes to a house. It's the same story told 3 different ways in 1959, 2009, and 2059. Frankly, I have no idea why this was nominated. In my opinion, at least 2 of the 4 honorable mentions were superior than this short. It also detracts into the bleak, zombified future that I think is well past its expiration date, even when this was made. And it does have a cool looking game in the animation to its merit. That's pretty much its only saving grace. This was definitely my least favorite choice of the nominated shorts. Next we have The Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Lesmore, and it's one of the 2 nominees from the USA, the other one being Pixar's La Luna. I feel this short is in a completely different league than the others. It was produced in Louisiana and was very obviously inspired by Hurricane Katrina, as well as The Wizard of Oz and Buster Keaton. A young man who loves books and is currently writing one gets swept away by a storm, and when the storm clears, everything is gone and he's completely alone apart from his book. Then he sees a beautiful woman being carried off by a flock of books, and she sends one down to him. The book is Humpty Dumpty, and it shows him the way to a house of books. We then see that through the stories of others, the world is still beautiful no matter how bleak it may be, and you'll never be truly alone again. Then we have La Luna, and this is a coming-of-age story where a little boy goes up to the moon for the first time as he learns the family trade of tending the stars. The story is sweet and cute, but I really don't think it's as strong as some of the other nominees, but the animation, being Pixar, is really beautiful. Certain aspects of the nominated shorts that I noticed was that death, and also specifically suicide, was pretty prevalent in the nominated entries. Also, all of the protagonists are male, which I found to be pretty interesting. There are hardly any female characters anywhere in any of the nominated shorts. Why that is, I don't know. Now, the honorable mentions include Null Arbor from Australia, and this demonstrates to me the power of testosterone-induced stupidity behind the wheel as it meets karma. Then we also have the Hybrid Union, which is from the USA and Ukraine, and this demonstrates how 2 heads can be better than 1 when characters plus and minus are forced to work together to form a new type of energy. Skylight is a Canadian entry that comically shows the dangers of the holes in the ozone layer. And then the final honorable mention is Amazonia from the USA, where a little tree frog is learning how to fend for himself in the rainforest as he's taken under the sympathetic wing of an older and larger tree frog. It's a really cute story. As for the feature-length animations, there are Kung Fu Panda 2, Rango, Puss in Boots, Chico and Rita and Invita Shot, or A Cat in Paris. Since many people have already talked about the American entries, I'll briefly talk about the foreign entries, Chico and Rita from Cuba and Invita Shot from France. In A Cat in Paris, Invita Shot, it's about a pet cat of a little girl who at night moonlights as a thief's partner in crime. The two of them stumble upon a crime ring that killed the little girl's father, and they have to all band together to bring the crime ring to justice. I really liked this movie. It was definitely a crowd favorite in the theater, and it was very short for a feature film, but the story gets to the point and it goes really smoothly. The soundtrack's really nice too. And it has a great blend of comedy, suspense, and action. So definitely give us a go if it's playing near you. Chico and Rita, on the other hand, this was really, really long. It's about a piano player and a singer in Cuba who have a very tumultuous relationship, with both of them eventually going their separate ways in the US, and they're seeking their own fame in spite of the follies of youth. It's very slow moving and very drawn out. And then suddenly toward the end, the story goes really fast. They throw in politics with a speech from Rita about how she can't stay in the hotel where she's performing because she's a black Cuban. And then Chico gets deported during the Cuban Revolution, and they have like a few minutes of that. Then they skip through the years via montage. It was all over the place at the end, apart from the very last few minutes of the movie. And if this was a live action film, which is how it's shot, I doubt it would have gotten nominated. And since it's animated and has politics thrown in there, it'll probably win, unfortunately. Because it was all over the place. It was really it was drawn out, and then suddenly they want to cram 50 years in a matter of 15 minutes. Some people left before it ended, and I think that says a lot. It felt very, very long. So give Cat in Paris a go, give the other ones a go. Chico and Rita, I think you can skip on it, unless they cut out a good portion of the film. It's way too long. It feels too long. So anyway, I hope you all have a great weekend. If you watch them, enjoy the Oscars tonight, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye.